Welcome to the fifth session of cyber offenses and cyber crimes. In today's session, we will study what is social engineering and classification of social engineering. So, what is social engineering? It is the technique to influence and persuasion to deceive people to obtain the information or perform some action. This means criminal will try to gain trust from the targeted person, and once the targeted person trust on criminal, the criminal will break that trust to obtain the information or to perform some action. Instead of using computer or breaking the security to collect information, social engineers collects information in natural way, like asking some questions to the targeted person. It is generally agreed that people are the weak link in security, and this principle makes social engineering possible. A social engineering usually uses telephone or cell phone or internet to get them to do something that is against the security practices and policies of the organization. Social engineering involves gaining sensitive information or unauthorized access privileges by building inappropriate trust relationship with insiders. It is an art of exploiting the trust of people which is not doubted while speaking in a normal manner. The goal of a social engineering is to fool someone into providing valuable information or access to that information. Social engineering studies the human behavior so that people will help because of the desire to be helpful. The attitude to trust people and fear of getting into trouble. The sign of truly successful social engineering is that they receive information without any suspicious. A simple example is calling a user and pretending to be someone from the service desk working on a network issue. The attacker then proceeds to ask questions about what the user is working on, what file shares he uses, what his password is, and so on. The social engineering is classified in two types. The first one is human based social engineering, and the second one is computer based social engineering. So now we will see human based social engineering. Human based social engineering refers to person interaction to get the required information. These techniques used in human based social engineering: the first one, impersonating an employee or valid user. Impersonation in perhaps the greatest technique used by social engineering to deceive people. Here, attacker tell that he is an employee of the same organization which others are working in that organization. social engineerings take advantage of the fact that most people are basically kind of helping nature. So people think that to tell someone who appears to be finding difficulty where his computer room is located, or to tell someone enter into the building who forgot something in organization is not a big deal, but actually attacker is taking advantage of helping nature of human. Second one is posing as an important user. Here the attacker tells as he is an important employee in the organization, though he is not an important person, he is just a criminal. For example, criminal may tell he is CEO or high level manager and tells that he needs immediate information to gain access to a system. The attacker tried to treat employee so that a lower level employee such as help desk worker will help in gaining access to the system. Most of the low level employees will not ask any question to someone who appears to be in high level position of authority. The third one is using a third person. Here attacker tells that he has permission from an authorized source to use a system, but in reality the attacker is just lying. This trick is useful when the supposed authorized person is on vacation or cannot be contacted for verification. The fourth one is calling technical support. Here attacker tells that he is from technical support team and may tell that he is calling from technical support team and tells that we are working on a network issue and trying to solve that problem. So he tell kindly to provide all the access detail to the system to fix the problem. But the fact is that he is actually an attacker and not from technical support team. Next one is shoulder surfing. It is a technique of gathering information such as username and password by watching over a person's shoulder while he logs into the system. Here in this case, attacker try to collect username and password when a targeted person entering the username and password by standing behind and observing. Next one is dumpster diving. It involves looking in the trash for information written on piece of paper or computer printout. Sometimes people write the notes or information on a pieces of paper or take printouts of important information, and once those paper has no use, people will throw that paper in dustbin. Here in this case, attacker will try to collect those waste papers from dustbin and try to collect important information from that paper. It is also called as dumpstering, binning, thrashing, garbing, or garbage gleaning. Scavenging is another term to describe these habits. So that's it for today's session. So in this session we have studied what is social engineering and the first classification, that is human based engineering. In next session we will study computer based social engineering.